women can no longer complain about men not approaching us anymore, because women for years online have been saying, don't approach me at the gym, I'm just here to get a workout. Don't approach me at the bar, I'm just here to have a good time and dance with my girls. Don't approach me at the library, I'm just trying to get my work done. Don't approach me at the grocery store, I'm just trying to do my shopping.
I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these Thank you. Now watch this drive.
We have been saying online for years to not approach us places because we're not there for a man.
We're not there for a man.
And we're just trying to do our own thing and don't want to be bothered with it. So men have stopped approaching women. Because of what women have been saying.
You know, and I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying everybody else is gonna.
Finally, somebody gets it. Am I right, you guys? Finally, there's a woman that actually understands what's going on. Absolutely. This has been happening for a couple of decades now at this point, where, yes, women have been very outspoken about not wanting any of this done. And so men have obliged. And now all of a sudden they don't like it. They hate it. They want something different. It just kind of shows you that you just can't make them happy. Like, well, whatever you do, you just cannot make these types of people happy.
You can't get mad at them because they actually listened. Like, what? I feel like something is not clicking here, because then we have told men to stop approaching us, and now they have. But then you as a woman now don't want to approach men. Because that's not feminine. Or you don't chase, you attract.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
She's almost getting it here, because a lot of guys out there that have been in these types of relationships, and any guy that is watching this video that has been married for any period of time, can understand the hypocrisies that are in pretty much in every woman. Okay, are complete hypocrites when it comes to almost every facet of their life. So this is just one other thing where now they don't want to be approached, but then at the same time now they're mad because you're not approaching them.
But now you can't even attract, because we all have scared men out of approaching women in public. And now it's like, if you actually do want more men to start approaching you, we kind of got to take back what we said and just be like, no, you can approach us. Maybe just don't be a dickhead or an asshole or a creep or a weirdo.
Yes! 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 No! No! No!
Approach us respectfully. If we reject you, move on and be respectful about it. Just because I reject you doesn't mean you have to call me a fat bitch. Just take the rejection and move on. All right, so if you're complaining that men are approaching you, just realize it's our own fault.
Sometimes takes a little pack of mayonnaise and she'll squirt it in her mouth all over, and then she'll take an egg and kind of she calls it a mayonnaise.
Well, here's the problem here. I think a lot of men would agree, and this is just my assumption, and this is how I feel. A lot of men would agree that if it just stopped at women saying, no, thank you, or, I have a boyfriend, or whatever the excuse is, if it just stopped with that, it would have been fine. There would have been no issue. My problem is that some of these women, they get approached and they start screaming that these men are there to attack them. These men are there to, because they're predators that make these women victims and stuff. And that's not okay. That's not okay for me. And so a lot of men are looking at some of these women that do stuff like this, which, again, you are in an age where every single post on TikTok is all women and stuff. So if a woman says it on TikTok, then it's 100% the truth. You got to believe her. That's the mindset we're dealing with here. So a woman gets approached. She screams out that, oh my God, this guy, he approached me and he done something that I can't say on YouTube. And now all of a sudden there's a rallying of women, a pretty much a dog whistle this woman threw out for this guy to get attacked. And all he did was just want to approach someone and ask for their number. This is why men aren't approaching. And, you can blame it on every other woman. But the thing is that it is all women, because whenever one woman does it, then all these other women get behind her and champion her and push her through, magnify her voice to the point to where now it is a big issue, and claim that they've been done some horrible atrocity. They've been victimized in the worst way. It is a call to action to all these other women. And so men do not want to be involved in that at all.
This matchmaker told me the craziest thing recently, and it's something that I kind of inherently knew about men, but it had never really been confirmed, or I'd never heard it from someone that works with men and knows this firsthand. She had reached out because there was some guy she wanted to introduce me to. When she was gathering information about me, she was trying to, figure out, what do I do? What's my story? What am I into? Etc. And at the end, she said, yeah, I do think you should meet with this guy. He said that he doesn't care whether you're successful or not. And of course that piqued my curiosity, because I'm like, oh, some guys say that they don't want someone successful. And she only works with very high net worth individuals. And she said to me, yeah, actually there's a lot of men that specify that they do not want their partner making more than $60,000 a year. I've always wondered that about men, but I didn't know that that was something that they really take into consideration, because everyone that I meet acts like they're cool with someone that's successful. Why wouldn't you want 2 incomes?
I'll make that deal. How about you bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
Yeah, here's a take. Here's my opinion. In my mind, if I was to have a wife or anything like that, she would not be working. She would be at home with the kids. Ideally, of course. That'll never happen. But in my mind, I would say that if I would want a wife and if I had kids and everything, I would want that wife to be at home with the kids. I wouldn't want her out working. I wouldn't want her doing anything like that. That's just me. That's just me, though. A lot of guys out there, they might think differently. In what I've seen online, the more successful a woman is, the more headache she is. However, so no, that couldn't be me. Okay, that couldn't be me.
2 strong incomes. So I asked if I could make an assumption on why, and I said, is this a control thing? They have full control over the relationship? If the woman depends on the guy? She said, yeah, most of these men have worked really, really hard their whole entire life, and they want someone whose sole focus is going to be on them. And she said, you'd be surprised by the amount of men that will explicitly tell me this. This is
Yeah, that's kind of my viewpoint as well. I would rather have her concentrating on the family and stuff like that than having to worry about work and working for another guy and splitting her time. Take care of the family, get you some hobbies, not have to worry about all the stresses of working and paying bills and stuff. I don't see how that could positively affect, if you're trying to start a family, having a woman out there working and also getting stressed and stuff. I just really don't see any positives with that working out. The only positive is the extra income coming in. But then again, if you have kids, you're paying for childcare. So I don't know. There's a lot to factor in there, but I wouldn't want my wife to be out working and being a boss babe. It seems like a headache.
A very big factor for a lot of these very wealthy men. Well, it sounds like these men are really insecure and they want to have control. This sounds like a control thing. Because who says that you can't be obsessed with your partner and have a career? And she said, yeah, I'll be quite honest. It's the more insecure ones that are typically looking for that.
I don't know if it's control, because again, I think that these men have seen what happens to women that are focused on careers, and it doesn't turn out good. And maybe they've been in relationships where women have made plenty of money and they've focused on their careers and stuff. And these guys want a woman that is more focused on them. How is that insecure? It kind of just sounds like a preference to me. Just like some of these women want men that make a certain amount. Yeah, so why can't the opposite be the same? Women have preferences all day long. They can have a million preferences, and a guy has one preference. Say, hey, I just don't want the woman I'm with to be completely, up to her neck and work all day and be stressed out. I would rather her not be that way. And then all of a sudden he's insecure. Sure.
A guy I've been seeing really pissed me off last night. I think I need to dump him, so let me know what you think. So I've been seeing this guy very, very recently, I saw him like twice last week. He texted me yesterday that he wanted me to come over last night, and I said I can't, because I can't take any more Ubers, because I've literally spent hundreds of dollars on Ubers in the past month. Sends me this text, and I respond with this. Then I get this text, which really threw me for a loop. For context, we've only been on one real date. We went to see a waterfall one day, then went for ramen, and the other time we just hung out at his house. He did pick me up both times and drop me off. So I left him on red for a bit, responded with this. He replied with this.
Okay, so here we have, I'm going to pause it here on this message. And basically this message is saying that he has, I guess, paid for all these dates that she's talking about. And then he's wondering, now he's requesting something from her, and she's still trying to reach out and trying to get him to, I guess, pay or come pick her up, or I don't know what the issue is. He is trying to get it reciprocated, and she is denying that reciprocation. What does she expect? I don't understand what these women expect whenever they have a guy that does all this stuff for them, and then he wants it kind of reciprocated in a certain way, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, how dare you? Like, well, what are we doing here? And why are you taking this online to like shame him? Or like, well, what are you doing to? I almost want to think that there's a lot of these, because these text messages were like cut up and pasted a certain way and stuff. I'm kind of thinking she left a bunch of stuff out because something just isn't adding up. Okay. Something isn't adding up here. There's a lot of the story I don't think we're getting.
I found to be very rude and very presumptuous. As you will see, he did apologize. So I kind of decided to give him a pass, but I don't know if that was the right decision. So this is me crossing my fingers and toes that this does not end up on misogynistic talk. So let me know if it was a mistake giving him a second chance. The only reason I did is because he apologized. Girls, let me know. I mean, there's gonna be boys in my comments. Whatever. Should I dump his ass?
And you can tell she's had this reaction from men before because she has no idea what she's doing. I kind of think that if this guy was just an average looking guy, if she didn't find him super attractive, there would be no issue with what he's saying. But let's look through the comments and let's see what, okay, so I have ran through the comments here, and me personally, I think she left out a lot of information. So these stories right here, it's not really adding up. She said they only went out on one date. However, the way he's talking, there has been several dates. So you really don't know. You really don't know with stories like this. But this is just a great example of no matter what you do, you could be a great guy. This guy that she's seeing is probably a great guy. There's probably no issue with him. He just wanted some of the effort reciprocated, and she maybe mouthed off a little bit. He got pissed. She deleted some messages. Who knows? Who knows what happens? Okay, I don't know what happened in that situation. However, you are never safe from a woman going online and sharing DMs and blasting your name all over TikTok, because that's exactly what she did. And anybody that knows this woman and knows that dude will probably know that they're talking about him. So there's, so I might not know who this dude is, and you might not know who he is. To them, it really doesn't matter. It's all about social destruction. It's all about ruining his good name with the people around him. Okay, for the humiliation and for the clout. This is disgusting, if you ask me. It is just really disgusting. These women have no issue getting online and doing stuff like this. But let me know what you guys think, fellas. Leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.